All right. Hey, it's Doc Shell. Welcome to Doctor Test Prep. We are going to look at the graphing calculator a little bit in this one. Make sure you click the link in the description, go to choose assessment, and then click College Board so that you have the same tools that I have. We're doing Khan Academy Unit 6, Lesson 3. And I was smiling because I wrote all of these questions. And Orion is the name of the cat our family adopted. And I actually went on to the New York City website to find out how much it really does cost to cross the bridge. So so these are pretty darn accurate questions. And my cat does weigh 9 pounds. So there you go. Let's take a look. Number 4, Orion the cat has a very specific diet. The cat eats 0.6 ounces of wet food and zero point 0.2 ounces of dry food per pound. So I made this a little tricky. I would probably write it like this and make this all one coefficient and then write the x. You could also just do 0.6x plus 0.2x. Write the linear equation to determine the total amount of food eaten in one day. So I would just put t of x. Now my equation is done. And then if Orion weighs 9 pounds, how many total ounces of food does Orion consume? In 2 days. That's a very college boardy thing to do. So I'm not going to type t of x in. I'm just going to type the 0.6 plus 0.2x. Wow. That's why we follow along. But instead of x, we know the value is 9. So we know that she eats 7.2 ounces in one day. And because we want 2 days, you probably just know it's 14.4, but 17.2 times 2 is 14.4. Akira is starting her own business doing hair for the neighborhood families. She spends $275 in startup costs for supplies and advertising. If Akira earns $75 profit, so I'm just going to put over here $275 start. Okay, if Akira earns $75 profit for styles that take 1 to 2 hours, write an equation to represent how much profit Akira can make after purchasing her supplies and completing X styles. So she's going to have her profit will be $75 per style, but we have to subtract her 275 starting costs. So sometimes we would put the 275 first, but that's not what we're doing. We're doing $75 per style, subtracting the 275. How many styles does she need to completely break even or start making money? Okay, so basically breaking even means 0. So we're just going to type in 75x minus 275. And that's it right here. So this is important. This is just like one of the questions, question 3 in the last video. We get 3.667. Now, the issue is Akira is not going to have a client who's like, could you please do 2/3 of my hair or 0.667? So in the other video, we had to round down because Raj had to make complete batches of cookies. In this case, in order for her to make profit, we have to actually round up and say she needs to do 4 complete styles. And when she does that, she'll have enough money. Oops, excuse me. The toll to cross the George Washington Bridge into New York City for vehicles with at least 6 axles is $119.10 plus $19.85 for each axle over 6. And that's true, I looked it up. Write a linear equation to represent the cost C of x for a vehicle with 6 or more axles crossing into New York City, where x represents the number of axles over 6. So remember in a previous video, we had to take out that $4,000 profit. In this case, we don't because X stands for how many extra axles. So that's all. X stands for extra axles. So we've got our C of X equals the 119.10 plus 1985 per extra axle. So that's our equation. Now we want to know if there's 10 axles and the X stands for axles over 6. So we're going to have to subtract the 6 axles, which tells us 4 is the number we would substitute in here. So we're going to go over here and do 119.10 plus 1985, and in parentheses, we'll type in 4. So how much would it cost? It would cost 198.5, but because it's money, we have to remember to add the 0 and the $sign. All right, this concludes us doing Unit 6, Lesson 3. So as much as I want you to watch my YouTube videos, please stop watching, head back over to Khan Academy, try those example problems on your own using the Desmos calculator. This lesson doesn't really have a lot of Desmos in it, but just learning the skills we talked about. And then when you're done, you can come back and watch our next video if it's orange. And our next video will be talking about graphs of linear equations and functions. Okay, I'll see you soon.